Assalamualaikum and very good morning to our beloved lecturer, Dr. Intan Shavinas, respectable teachers and all my fellow friends. First and foremost, I would like to thank our lecturer for giving me a chance to present this speech entitled The Criteria of an Ideal Teacher. First and foremost, the definition of an ideal teacher is the one who respects from our heart. He or she acts as a guide to the student, while not pushing them too much. Such a perfect motivates them and boosts their morale. He or she tries to encourage the student and refrain from criticizing them. The perfect teacher prefers to give positive motivation to his or her student. His or her comments are always constructive in a nature. He or she serves as our friend, guide, educator, confidante, and a balance of all the good qualities one can possess. Such a teacher shapes the entire life of the students. If everyone in the world gets an ideal teacher, he or she won't have to look back in his or her life ever. There is no question that awesome teachers love to teach, not doing it for the money, prestige or glory. They teach because it brings them an incredible feeling of satisfaction knowing they are contributing positively to the future of others. If a teacher doesn't have this inner satisfaction and does not enjoy what they do, they'll never be able to make lasting impression in their student minds. Passion has great impact, and this is something that all really good teachers have. My dear friends, not all teachers have to be comedians, but they do to engage in a class and in a way put on a show. It seems that one of the most difficult challenges that teachers face is maintaining an active class. After all, wasting a throughout lesson plan and an hour or two on an effective classroom is something all teachers work to avoid. True, some teachers keep a class engaged just by incorporating humor into their teaching. Notorious others may throw random student sharp question at anyone who might seem like they are drifting off. My dear friends, an important part of being engaging is being vocal. Tacit teachers are rarely good ones. That said, teachers can keep attention on what being taught by simply experiencing it with enough conviction. Depending on the subject, a teacher volume and the numbers of people paying attention are directly proportional, and for logic's sake, there's properly and threshold volume that keep everyone glued. If a teacher can keep a room full of kind focus, they are already gotten 1 star on the first step ladder. A good teacher knowledge goes beyond knowing a particular subject by heart. More importantly, good teachers have to anticipate the kind of question the student might ask. The worst thing a teacher can do is be roundabout with their answer or respond with "I don't know." If that happens, students lose faith in credibility and intellects of their instructor, whether consciously or not. I have found that teachers who are able to incorporate application to the real world or include outside references are generally the most effective. This knowledge means knowledge outside of the textbook and, in fact, knowledge outside of the classroom. The best way a teacher can demonstrate his or her knowledge is by answering questions truly, clearly, and most importantly, correctly. Students should get the impression that their teacher is a guru of the subject. Even though it sounds cheesy, friendly teachers are the easier to approach with questions, easier to learn from, and easier to communicate with. I find that teachers who are too sarcastic or too jocular or just flat our mind are difficult to relate to. A good teacher strives to get to know his or her student by finding similar interests, exchanging anecdotes, or by simply breaking out the small talk. And although it's ultimately up to a student to mold their learning experience, a friendly teacher will always be more impacting than an unfriendly one. A good teacher does their best not to be a cranky. In most cases, if the teacher is a good mood, the whole classroom eventually will be too. And if the students is a good mood, it gives them the impression that they have a good teacher. It's all really systematic. In conclusion, there are many ways to be an ideal teacher. There are also many views of how an ideal teacher should be. However, the point above are examples of my own perspective on an ideal teacher. Above all, we must bear in mind that we work with humans and not machines. This being the best for them is indeed vital and essential. Thank you.